What's up, guys? Welcome back. So pretty much, guys, as you guys seen in the last video, if you guys haven't seen the last video, go back and watch it. That is where we actually received the fuel cell that we are going to be running on the all-wheel drive EK. So what I wanted to start doing today was, because we did make a trip a few videos back to G&J, and I picked up all of the plumbing that I needed basically to start doing all of the turbo stuff, as far as the oil return, the feed, the coolant return, and the coolant feed to the turbo housing. So what I already did is pretty much I got everything mocked up as far as the feed. That is locked in already, along with the T and also the sensor here. So that is just mocked up for now, because again, I am still gonna have to put some clamps on it, make sure it keeps out of the way from the manifold itself. It does have a heat sleeve that will be perfect for it, so it should absorb it. And this is a steel braided line instead of a nylon braided line. So this is gonna be able to absorb a lot more heat compared to the regular dash fittings, the AN lines. So this is what I'm using for now, and this is what I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do. So what I need to do now, I already got ahead of myself, and I kind of just started seeing if I can make the lines myself, and I can. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is try to put this one on to the fitting over here for the return of the oil on the timing chain side, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the routing direction of which way we're gonna route it. After that, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that in this video or not, but it was just a thought, was trying to make another downpipe. I mentioned it in the last video, guys, that in honesty I was tired of making too many mistakes, trying to rush things and try to get this car done. And unfortunately, it's bit me in the ass a few times. So what I decided to do was go ahead and make another downpipe, and I'm not sure if I'm going to weld that up in this video or if we're going to do all that in this video. Probably not. I'm not 100% sure yet though, but we'll see how this video goes. Right now, what I really want to concentrate on is getting the turbo off and getting all this situated, so that we can go ahead and make the lines, make sure everything is fitted. I'm gonna go ahead and remove everything so that it's easier to get it done, and we'll just go from there. But for now, guys, let's go ahead and start making those lines. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the table so we have room to work with, and then we can get busy on the engine bay and finishing up the turbo setup as far as the drainage and basically the feed for coolant and oil. Bit. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have lube right now. Usually I put lube in it, or actually I do. So what I like to do is spray some PB Blaster on it. That way it keeps the hose lubed, and from there thread it on. Once you feel it get tight, Alright guys, so we got that line installed already. So this is kind of funky the way it's going to be here, but the way this is going to sit is it's actually going to be pushed inside a little bit more, to a point where it'll kink it down and still maintain the flow of oil draining and going into the adapter over here. So we should be good. That way we clear the downpipe, but I'm gonna go ahead and make a bracket so that it pulls it underneath the manifold, and that way at least it'll tuck it out of the way a little bit. So yeah, so we should be good there. Now let's go ahead and get to the whole cooling system, because the feed is already ran. This is where we're going to mount the feed at, right here. It's snaking through here, which I don't see should be an issue. We are going to be running a heat blanket most likely over it. So from there it goes to the T section over here, if you can see it on the block where this is at. So everything is here, so it's all pretty much mounted and out of the way. It does have heat sleeving also, so either way we should be golden when it comes down to that. So sorry about the whole visual of it, but at least we got that done. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is try to do this one, so that we can go ahead and get this to there, and then from the back will be the return and pretty much come this way. I was kind of thinking about doing it the other way, so that way it would come like this and go around to the back end over here, but I would need another 45. I think I have it. I'm gonna go ahead and try it out and see what that looks like. Alright guys, so now getting to the cooling part of the turbo setup. So the way we are going to run things is a little bit different than I guess some people usually run it. Some people will tap into the thermostat housing and stuff like that. I can probably do that, but do I want to do that? No, because it's just an excess hose that's probably going to come from all the way down there to there. I could possibly do it later on, but I just got to figure out the fitting that's going to go here, whether it's going to be my heat, my thermostat, I don't know yet. I still got to figure all that stuff out. So the way I'm going to run it temporarily, so that way I know when we run it, the ball bearing and stuff like that won't get messed up, is we are actually going to be running the feed from here. This used to be the idle assist delete or whatever it was, so I had put a delete plug on it. This had a little fitting that would block it off, so now I'm using a fitting on it. There's an adapter piece down here. I'm going to run it to a 90 straight here to the top of the turbo, which will feed the turbo for cooling. As far as the return, I'm going to go ahead and feed it from the back, put a 90-degree back there, and feed it this way. I'm going to switch these fittings here to another one that I have over there, because this one I'm actually going to utilize for the back of the turbo. The main reason why is because on this fitting here, guys, this does not allow it to swivel. So if I were to put this back there, most likely over time the seal on it is gonna get melted, or it could get damaged and cause issues to where we have leaking issues, and that's something that I'm trying to prevent, in all honesty. So that's the way we're gonna do things. So let's go ahead and get started on that, and then just finish all that up for today. Alright guys, so this is the way it's going to be. This is just rough again, you know. So this part is going to go into the barb of the piping from the thermostat. From here to go around, the barb fitting is in here to a -6. Again, I'm using a tighter radius, 90-degree 6AN, so that way it pretty much fits. So it'll give it that little loop. I can go up on top, and that way it'll just go like this. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, let's go ahead and get this onto that fitting, and then from there we can start doing the rest of the hose that's going to come from the back of the turbo to the drain, and then we'll do the feed from the top of the manifold to the turbo setup. Alright, so here it is. This is the way it's going to look. It's going to come from here back to the back of the turbo. So now let's go ahead and get the last fitting off real quick from back here. And now we can start doing everything, get the heat wrap on it also, and yeah, that way prevent it from pretty much melting or anything.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
290s, tight 90, long 90, so we should be good, and hopefully everything will clear. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and continue pushing forward and see what else we can get done. So let's go ahead and just get the other line done, actually, because that needs to be done. Alright guys, so here is the last and final line that I made off camera. And before anybody comes at me, guys, yes, after I made every single line. I know I didn't record any of that, I didn't record a clip of that, but I did blow everything out, made sure that it was free of debris. I also cleaned out the inside, rinsed it with water, pressurized it, made sure that any debris that was locked in it would come out, and we made sure that we blew it out after and got rid of any sort of liquid such as water, just so that way it wouldn't be trapped inside of it. So I blew everything out, made sure every single line was clear, and now everything is finally mounted. So here we got the fill or the feed for the coolant that goes straight into the turbo, and then we got the drainage coming from the back going to this T to this bar here to the thermostat housing. From there we ended up doing the feed to the oil system, that way everything's lubricated. Also here it runs underneath the manifold to the T back there, and then we also got the dash 10 drain going to the drainage on the side of the timing chain cover. So pretty much everything is wrapped up. There's small stuff that needs to be kind of tweaked and kind of messed with a little bit, nothing major. We just got this line to move out of the way. It's hard to see right here, so let me go ahead and grab a camera, or let me go ahead and grab a flashlight real quick. All right, so what I'm talking about here, as you guys can see, there's that feed, or there's a drainage actually right here. So what I need to do is actually make a bracket. Let me see if I can put this camera down here. So what I need to do is get this hose tweaked over, so I need to make a bracket so that way it pulls it inwards, and that way it's out of the way from the downpipe and the dump tube that we are going to be fabricating still. So all that needs to be made sure that's out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the downpipe and the dump tube still with heat wrap material, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just doing that as an extra precaution to make sure that we try to prevent any heat from melting the hose in the inside or messing up the steel braided line to the hose. Alright guys, so pretty much the packages that came in over the weekend was actually the fuel setup. So as you guys already seen on the last video, we ended up getting the fuel cell from Brandon. We have shit up. A huge shout out to him again for the awesome deal. We also got dash 6 fuel lines that we ended up going with. So this is what we're going to be using for the fuel feed and also the return. We have all the lines here for the E85 and everything else. So all that is here. Aside from that, we ended up getting a new fan shroud. I was going to fabricate my own. I didn't unbox it because there's no point of unboxing it. It's just a fan shroud for the radiator. So this does have a fan with it also, but I'm not going to utilize that one. I'm going to utilize the one that I have, which is a spout fan one, the 12-inch one. So that is what we're going to be mocking up onto the radiator when we get everything back in there. Aside from that, I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but we ended up getting the new housing for K-tune for the fill neck. So I ended up pretty much installing it already. So this is the new updated one, which is straight. The other one was at a 45 angle. So that one is no longer going to be used, which is the 45 that's over there. So that one back there, I'm not going to use it anymore. That one's going to be for sale if anybody is interested. I'm asking 130 bucks for that one. It's still brand new. It's just I'm not going to use it, and it's just a different angle. So that will come with a block off also that I ended up buying aftermarket for that setup over there. This one already came with it. This one does not have a fill neck section because the radiator will have that. And as an added bonus, guys, this came with something else. Alright guys, so what ended up coming in that K-tune package was also a set of brand new 1700 injector dynamic injectors. I didn't know these were in there. I thought it was just hardware, and to my surprise, it was a brand new set of injectors. So I'm gonna end up putting these into the car and swapping out the ones that I have in there currently. Those are 1000cc alpha injections, and so these will give me a little bit more horsepower in the future when we decide to turn up more boost and put a built motor in it. The other injectors are gonna be going to my little brother. For those people that do know my little brother actually used to have a 4-door Integra also, just like mine, but it was white. You guys have seen it on the channel. You guys have seen it in videos. He recently sold that one to fund this new project. He ended up recently picking up Bisimoto's old Civic wagon, the single cam turbo 700 horsepower one. He picked it up for a good deal, and he's going to bring it back to life. And unfortunately, it's not going to stay single cam like it used to be, where he's actually going to go K-series in this setup now. I'm not sure of all the details, but I know he kind of wants to play around with nitrous, but we'll see how that happens. But he is slowly building it, and he is going to need injectors, so I'm selling him these injectors, as he's already purchased a lot of other parts to get that project going. But pretty much, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys look forward to more content of the all-wheel drive EK. And let me know if you guys want to see progress on my brother's little wagon. You know, if you guys want to see content on that also, let me know, and we'll see what we can do. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.